was something that we were told to do, that we knew that it was something that we shouldn't have sex before marriage. And it was also kind of like, I understand why and I believed it, but until I became involved with IMPACT, I never really knew all of the consequences and so much as the benefits.
Before IMPACT, abstinence was more of a requirement for me in my life and just something that, was expected of me.
Before I joined IMPACT, my family didn't believe in abstinence at all. My family was not one of those church groups. We never went to church. I went to church when I was baptized at 3 months old, and since then I didn't step inside a church until I was around 12. So that entire time I had never had any positive influences on drugs, about sex, or about drinking.
When I figured out that there was an organization like IMPACT, I really wanted to get involved. That was something that spoke out to me because it was something I did, but something I never really understood, and I wanted to understand it more clearly.
When I saw how many of my peers actually signed the forms that made a commitment to remain abstinent, I saw how many people around me were doing the same things, and it really encouraged me to continue with my beliefs.
When I got to be a part of IMPACT, I really saw that, there are people out there making a difference and saying the right things and going after what is really right and true.
They would bring up kids from the audience, and even though I wasn't in that age group because I was volunteering, it was just really cool to see the kids interact. And I remember asking my friend, I was like, how do I join this?
When IMPACT came into my life, it was cool because it helped me start to understand why I am the person that I am, why I believe that a commitment to abstinence, to stay away from sex, drugs, alcohol, and tobacco is so important.
I've seen changes in my life personally because I've just, thought about the consequences of my actions of premarital sex, drugs, and alcohol usage.
Even at school, kids who know that I'm IMPACT, they could just come up to me and they ask me for advice just because they know that I know so much about it, and it just really changed my life. As I've met so many people, the people that I've worked with and the kids that I've taught and the adults that I've worked with, just really forms a really strong support system.
Seeing how when we go to sites to present to kids, seeing how it can affect them and how they're like, wow, I can really make this choice to not have to have sex, to not get pregnant before I'm married, and it just really makes a difference.
A lot of my friends who are making bad decisions, they didn't have this when they were growing up. They didn't have this back in middle school. Because that's why IMPACT is just so important. It should just grow and affect as many people as it can, because those are the people who are going to change other people's lives, and it's just going to keep growing.
It not only impacts the lives of us who are part of IMPACT on the staff, but it's so important that people out there can develop those relationships with people who share their beliefs with them.
It's not aimed at the teenagers who are in those summer staff t-shirts. It's not aimed at the people in the office filling out the paperwork. It's aimed at the kids. It's aimed at our fellow peers, the ones who aren't in this spot, because we are the future. Without us, what is there left? And if we don't make that change now, who's going to do it?
Every time I go to a presentation, you can just see someone in the room lighting up like they just figured the world out, because we just mentioned, that not everybody's having sex, and I know that maybe we're not changing everybody's lives in that room, but if we change just one person's life in that room, they're going to change their friends' lives, their families' lives, and then those people go on to save other people's lives.
A lot of these kids don't have parents that support them in their decision to remain abstinent from drugs and alcohol and sex, and it's really good for them to see people their age, especially, not adults talking down to them, or, people that they can't relate to, but to see kids that are so close to them in age that have these beliefs, it just really encourages them to hold these beliefs and to really stick to their commitment. So I think a big part of what we do is being an example and just encouraging these kids.